actually.
I rolled with him the other weekend.
Oh, yeah.
He's super good.
Yeah.
So good.
As advertised.
All right, we're live in 3, 2. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay. And you're live.
Oh, what's up, YouTube? First time going live on here for the podcast stuff, so I hope anyone that is on here right now on the live part is very excited too.
I have the live chat currently.
Okay,
so.
cool. You can tell me what people are saying, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's a dumpster fire. We'll probably start ignoring that if we ever get cool enough. So yeah, man, we're here at the Parkway Automotive Studios in Warner Robins. I guess this is where Warner Robins, or Houston County, Georgia, somewhere in that middle Georgia area. I think middle Georgia is what most people would probably direct you to. It's a really cool studio that Brandon's gotten set up here where we can talk about all sorts of cool things that we have going on. And namely, we're going to do a rundown, I guess, like kind of the Mid-South number 2, the second tournament that we did Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
What was the date? 16th? Yeah, the 16th.
I believe so.
Yeah. I didn't bring any notes.
20th. Yeah.
I forgot to bring my notes.
This is the 16th.
So this is all going to be freestyle off the top of my head for the most part. So if I say anything, yeah, I did it.
I'll try to keep you honest.
I'm not lying. I'm just wrong. There's a difference. So yeah, man, these tournaments, man, are crazy. They're really, really fun to do once you're doing them. And as they're going on, they're really, really exciting. And I enjoy doing them a lot. That's why I did it. That's why I started doing them more or less, because it's really fun. But like setting it up as far as trying to get everyone in to register and to stay in and to deal with the real life stuff that happens that people deal with that require dropouts, it's an adventure to get to the event. This one we didn't. I think I dropped the ball some for sure. Getting the promotion side going right around the Christmas thing. Maybe we should have given this one a little bit of air to breathe, or hitting the promotion a little bit harder right around the Christmas time. But I got.
Do you think it was the weight?
I think both of them had to do with weight.
Yeah.
Excuse me. In some way, I think for the men, the 145s, to me, I thought was going to be like deep, where people were going to be rolling and there's going to be so many dudes that we had to turn people away.
Right.
You know what I mean? High level dudes, just almost like we had to with the 200-pound class. And it started to be that way. And I guess that's what I was saying about the promotion stuff of it. But then once it started that way and then we had a couple dropouts, then I didn't like jump right back into it, because the message I was getting from some people was, let me get through Christmas and, got to do all this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I understand. And then, family members were sick from various things.
Right.
And so that's it. No hard feelings with anyone that had to drop out or anything like that. People had, real life situations that were going on, and it just is what it is. And for me, as a promoter now, someone that's doing events and matchmaking, for lack of a better term, I guess, event coordinating, or however you want to say this, it's just something I got to be used to and got to be flexible with. Not hold any grudges with anybody. I'm not mad or whatever that any of the people that didn't come from any of the, none of that matters really.
Right.
At the end of the day, whatever reason they didn't get to come or didn't come, but we still had an event, and it was really fun once it kicked off. Like, we had 8 guys at 145, and we had 4 women in an open weight tournament. I think for the women's open weight tournament, we did scare off a segment of that population, because some of them were worried about the potential super heavyweight lady showing up or something like that. The Gabby Garcias
having the just absolute open weight type deal.
Yeah, I think that even a moderately, whatever the middleweight women weight classes are, that unfortunately women don't get a lot a different. To me, that's what I was thinking. They don't get many choices of weight classes to compete in.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's usually like big and little kind of.
Yeah.
And I hate that term. You know, my wife, she gets mad at me for saying that stuff. And I don't mean it in a derogatory way. I just mean it, you know, in like a real way.
Physical space.
Like in the way, you know, like upper and lower, maybe is what I should say.
Yeah.
But then that usually denotes like rank. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's I don't know. Sorry for, you know, sometimes I say big girl, and I don't mean it in a negative way. But they have heavyweight women, which doesn't sound good, or they have lightweight women.
Right.
But then the women who are quote heavyweights. This is my argument though. The heavyweight women are really not that heavy.
Right.
Like a heavyweight woman to me is still technically a small lady.
You're also a fairly large human being.
I'm a big man. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
You take up a lot of space. I don't mean that in a negative way.
I'm big.
Yeah.
I'm a big man.
Yeah.
But there's bigger men than me.
There's a lot of me.
So like but to the average person, I'm bigger than average, I guess.
Right.
So it is what it is. But I thought that opportunity to do an open weight may draw out more because I don't know, just because I thought it would. But then that was the pushback that I got was some of the ladies were worried about the difference in weight classes, and there's more on the lower spectrum for sure than there is on the higher spectrum. And so I think that's probably why typically the classes fall the way they do at tournaments.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not, you know, for me, at least that was my experience. It's not that the offer wasn't made per se, and we'll do ladies again, but I think next time I'll make it a smaller person weight class, and then some person that's bigger than that will be unfortunately excluded, and whatever. You know, it has to be that way because guys get done that way too. So we'll just pick.
They got to show interest.
Yeah, we got to figure out.
Yeah.
So 145 guys, we did that one. There's 8 of them. We had to fill in. Actually, there was only 7. One guy dropped out.
Very last minute, correct?
I guess he may have dropped out way before mentally or whatever because he had other things to do. But he didn't tell me until I messaged him about an hour and a half before. So he dropped out, and then I filled the bracket with a couple of local kids that were white belts. I believe both of the local guys were white belts.
Wow.
And just threw them in. Their coaches said they're tough. One of them trains with us, Jay Shields.
Yeah.
And he's tough. He trains.
Great performance by him.
Yeah. He trains with us some. He trains mostly with Jimmy at the Tech Center. Jimmy's been his coach, you know, the whole time. But he does come through and he's with us some. So I'm familiar with him enough that as a white belt, I've rolled with him and I've seen guys roll with him. He's hard to handle when he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I knew that he could give some people some trouble. But my biggest concern was just like I wanted to make sure that everybody's like, hey, just make sure that he knows to tap when he's in certain positions because, you know, these guys are advanced belts. They're not coming to play. If he gets caught in a bad spot, I'd hate to see him really get hurt, you know, stepping up.
This early on.
Yeah, and he's, you know, I was like, hey, you're doing me a favor. And so I already appreciate it. What I don't want is you to get hurt trying to, like, prove something for me.
Yeah.
Like, you've already proved it by agreeing to do this. Thank you so much. And then Bryant Wilson, I believe, is the other guy's name. Another local guy that I don't know a lot about with a wrestling background. Thank you to him also for showing up and jumping in. He got the champion in the first round, Chance Gilbride. They mixed it up, you know, about a minute or so, and Chance was able to secure a pretty sweet little triangle from his back on Bryant and got him out of there. I think I can't remember what was the second match off that because it was Chance.
It was Chance versus I'm pulling it up.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So it was Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan versus David.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ryan versus David. And Ryan I don't know much about, honestly. I didn't know him. He came from Birmingham. And he's a really tough guy. Nice kid. He did really well in this match. And David is an MMA fighter from somewhere around Savannah. He trains with Lucien Corbray and those guys. David's a really, really high level fighter. I haven't really followed him as much as recently, as far as knowing what he's been up to in the last year or so, as far as competitions and stuff. But the last time I was heard of him, he was really on his way up and really, really up and coming guy. He normally fights at 125, so like this 45 weight class is perfect for a guy like that. You know what I mean? And so he came out really hard. They exchanged a couple positions, like front headlock or arm and guillotine is what Ryan went for a couple times, and then they started battling like ashis, and then I think you're putting it up right there, but Ryan got David in a pretty deep inside heel. Excuse me, I keep burping now. Inside heel hook and got the tap. Pretty quick, man. And that's the thing about some of these matches. I think we only had one that went to overtime the whole day, and it was the final of the men's 45. So turn and burn, this thing, we didn't really take time to sell concessions or any crazy ad spaces and stuff like that. So we got in and out pretty quick. The third match would have been Francisco versus our guy that didn't get to make it. So what we did is instead of Francisco, we didn't have anybody to put in there. So when I randomized the bracket, whoever got that guy was just going to get a bye. So Francisco Vazquez got a bye, and then that put us against Jay against Tony Walker. Jay's the white belt that I mentioned from the tech center that trains with us a little bit, and Tony's a purple belt from another buddy that we have down in Albany school. I think they're a Habero affiliate. So I don't really know. I didn't really know Tony and what he was very good at, because again, he kind of jumped in at a later time after we had a couple of dropouts. He filled a gap for us too. I think of the original 8 guys for sure, I think 2 of them are the ones that were still in the tournament. Francisco and Ryan were the only 2 original guys.
Wow.
That still showed up.
Wow.
And not to hate on anybody that was also coming, like they had all legit reasons.
Yeah, No, it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And so Jay goes in, dude, and he hits a twister on Tony, and he was hunting for it. I couldn't really see a lot from my angle because I think people were kind of getting in the way, and the table was in the way one time. So on the live stream, I'm calling for a reset.
Yeah,
I think maybe,
you were calling for a reset.
I'm like, maybe when they stop, they'll just give us a reset somewhere.
I could see on the camera angles I was looking from, I was like, oh, it's so close.
Yeah. So I didn't know what was happening, but then I got a glimpse at it right as Jay got the look at a good twister on him, and he finished the twister. And so one of the bonuses for the tournament is $100 for the twister from Parkway Automotive, because Brandon wants to see twisters in the tournament. So we called for it, and Jay went out hunting for it, and he's drilled it. And so to me, man, more than a lot of things, this honestly might have been the coolest part of the whole day to me, because someone finished a twister, but it wasn't really like my student per se.
Right.
And it wasn't really like some high-level guy that came over and transferred in or anything like that either per se, but it's my student's student. Gotcha. And we've only been over here. I've only been back over here for a year and a half or 2 at the most, I guess, sort of, but I've only really been teaching and open for about 6 or 8 months at the gym. So for that influence to kind of spread already to that 1 degree, it to me feels like it's really fulfilling in a way that I didn't expect that to feel so good, to be honest with you. And it was hard to not be overexcited in this moment for that reason, because it's exciting to me now when I see my guys do stuff, and my guys compete. And we haven't had that yet, I guess, technically here in Perry, where my guys are the ones that are competing, where they've been, homegrown talent. Usually I've been coaching guys that are a part of a team that I'm also a part of.
Right.
Like, it's not really just been I'm the head coach, kind of, you know. And with Jimmy and the Tech Center guys, yeah, I've kind of been coaching Jimmy for years, like even from a distance, kind of. We've always stayed in touch and talked and different things like that. But just being back over here and working with him, you know, like I said, really only heavy for a year, I would say, like face to face, and then already have one of his students to hit this on someone in a you know, a higher stakes tournament at the very least, you know.
Oh yeah,
then,
I mean, money's on the line. Like this guy was,
it's a big deal.
It was an active fight too.
Yeah, he was live
for a white belt too. That like he came after it. I wanted to ask you for the viewers, like for the people that aren't familiar with the system, aren't familiar with the twister. You want to go through it a little bit, watching it like this, and kind of describe it. I've got it on camera to where you can describe kind of what's going on.
So it looks like right here on the edge of the mat, as Jay's got the one single hook in, you technically are going to need that bottom hook, I guess we would call it, that like in a traditional way, like you always want to put the bottom hook in first kind of deal.
Okay.
Well, you only need that one hook if you're going to use the truck sort of deal. And I'd like to see exactly how it plays out. It looks like they got into a little bit of a scramble, and I'd have to see it played back. But it looks, so Jay's going to sprawl in on him, circles to the back. See that front roll with that connection, that was really good. He just staying in the connection, that was really, really good. I was really happy to see that kind of thing. And he's just going to step over with his left foot.
I ran it back.
And create that hook. So off of the shot, sprawl, he's going to run around and try to take the back. Tony's going to front roll. Jay's going to keep a great connection with his chest to back and roll along. And then when he gets over there, it looks like he's going to take his left foot and insert that hook. And when he puts in that left hook, that is his truck hook in this situation. I think if I'm correct, this is the left.
Okay.
His left. He puts that in. He makes his lockdown on that right here. Boom. And then he pulls him across the other side. Tony didn't know what was happening right here, so he kind of reached back and waited, and then Jay just like slammed it on him. And that's what happens when a lot of people don't know what's going on. They think that they can look back at it and take some of that pressure off.
Right.
Because you have that ability to move your upper body a little bit, but if you look back that way, you're basically just inviting the twister from anybody that knows what they're doing. I've seen it play out not that exact like sequence to get the truck, but where they could be on the wrong side, you get that lockdown in, bring them across, and then they'll look at you and be like, "What's up?" And you just twister them. At the Honored Invitational that I was at, my teammate Jacob Lee, he hit that on the guy.
And that's like not a low tier you're talking about. Like that's a high level guy making that mistake.
Yeah. They're just unfamiliar with the play.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Right,
And it's one of the interesting things. It's not that no one knows what we're doing, but unless you have an understanding of what they're doing, then it's going to be easy to make people fall for those mistakes. Higher level guys, they know the twister, they know the truck, they know a lot of the plays that people are playing, but it's, that's what I'm saying, like blue belt, purple belts on a more regional level. I wonder, because that's what I'm saying too.
You just had a white belt hit it on what'd you say it was, a purple belt?
And that's what I mean, influence wise, that's what's cool. And like we're one of 3 schools in Georgia that are 10th Planet School.
Right.
There's Atlanta, us, and Savannah right now. And Savannah's as new as we are, basically. So technically, there's only really been one school in Georgia, and then they haven't been here. I think Sean in Atlanta has probably been here max 3 or 4 years.
Maybe.
I don't even know.
I don't remember when he came on.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's been long enough that they're established,
right?
And so they've been doing it and spreading it up there. But like we know about most stuff, Atlanta's not the rest of Georgia. It's not a full representation of the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, oh, you live around Atlanta. It's like, no, man. I'm hours and hours away.
I'm just as close to Atlanta as you are, basically, in Alabama.
Yeah. And I didn't grow up. I grew up another couple hours away from here.
Oh, wow.
Like I was in the southwest corner of Georgia. So like the people I know and grew up with, my best friends, and like I trained in Valdosta. I had a school that I was helping teach at in Valdosta, which is the south, also like going towards the east. So like most of my run is from Perry, Macon down. Like I've not really done much above Macon, as far as competitions a lot or teaching and training that much. just because I've been down there. And now I'm really excited to be back over here and doing this with a style that's a little different than other people's. And hopefully we can really spread that. Like I said, like, and it's already kind of happening, as you see, with one person. And so that's the legacy move. You know what I mean? I've got my competitions, I've got my medals, I've got my non-medals too. You know what I mean? That live in my heart. They live in my heart, and that's what everybody else's is going to do too. You know, my wins and losses live in my heart, and everybody else's are going to live in theirs. And so I'm ready to share that with other people now, and like to pass on the way that I think they can get, you know, those wins and losses, you know, the most efficient way, or to handle, you know, the unexpected loss that we didn't play this out right. So we both, you know what I mean, we made this mistake, but it's not my physical, you know what I mean? It's not a physical game for me anymore. Now it's like it's a coach, you know, it's an instructor. It's like, it's a tutor or whatever you want to, however you want to think of it. Like, I'm not a master. Like, I'm not somebody's master and stuff. I'm just somebody that's like, I want to see people succeed. I want to see people do well. And man, it would be really great to see them use things that they learn from me to do well. So if people can be successful with things that I know, and I've had to go out and spend, you know, thousands of hours and time and money and all that stuff to go get it, you know, and bring it back over here. I'm happy to be that conduit to bring that back to the people that want it. And, you know, it's not always what they want right away, but I think once people get it, they get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's kind of the whole thing that I'm doing with the tournament, with the gym, with Costa Rica, with anything that we got going on, man. It's I don't want to do anything that I don't feel is genuine. I don't want to do anything that doesn't like generate happiness for me or for people that I care about. Because if it doesn't directly benefit me, but it benefits people I care about, then that's going to benefit me in another way. So then that's going to give me that same kind of feeling and happiness. You know what I mean? So if I can create this tournament where all I'm really putting in is a face and time and different things, you know, like, of course, all the other, like I said, of course, all the other stuff before that I've done, whatever, like to me that's just been my life. It's just who I am. That's the person. So I like these kind of tournaments and stuff like this because it's been a process to get to that. And I think this is the most fun way. And so I want other people to be able to do it that way. And so for $100, you can come and you can kind of bet on yourself. And then if not, then, you know, you got to compete against some really motivated people that were at a high level, at least that night, you know, and so you get to learn a lot. And that's what I did, like learn forward, go out here, compete with guys that were better than me. And sometimes I beat those guys. And then I was like, oh, I am good enough, at least for this level. So now I can attain that next level. And then maybe you get knocked down the next time you step up. And then you're like, well,
maybe I wasn't there that night.
Not quite that dude yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to me, those are the most important kind of lessons.
How hard is that part? The like figuring out, oh, not quite that. Is it a yet to you there, or is that like something?
Yeah, I think that's ongoing, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's a real process of everything because it from start to finish, like the guy that walked in to San Bernardino at American Sports University day one to train, and the guy that's sitting here at this podcast booth, they're not the same person. Like, you couldn't put them beside each other hardly and think that they could be cut from the same cloth in any way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this conversation couldn't even happen this way because I was too ignorant to know what I didn't even know in a lot of ways. And so I'm hard-headed. It's like, you know, what my daddy would say. And so I have to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? I gotta touch the fire to make sure it's hot. Even though you done told me.
I was gonna go down that example. Yeah.
I know. I believe you.
Yeah.
but I have to do it myself.
I still need to feel it.
I have to.
Yeah.
And dude, the one reference that kind of comes to my mind a lot, honestly, is something to do with Mandy, and that's my wife for anybody that doesn't know. But
she says she sees you, by the way.
Okay.
She's in the chat box over there.
I'm talking about you.
Yo.
But she's been with me for 95% of the career that I've had as far as fighting and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. So she's seen most of this evolution like day to day. So she may not even see all of it until it pulls back sometimes. Mm-hmm. But like one conversation for sure was just, and maybe not word for word like this, obviously, but like I just did a tournament and I was really like in a bad mood about it and, you know, all butt hurt. And it was because I wanted to win by using my guard.
You didn't win how you wanted to win.
I didn't win at all.
Oh, you didn't win at all.
And I was on a losing streak for a while because I kept trying to do it. I even lost MMA fights this way. I lost an MMA fight doing the same thing, trying to prove that I could use my guard in an MMA fight one time. And then I learned that lesson, so I quit doing that in MMA after that fight. I was like, all right, well, he's just not going to let me play that game then. So I can't think that that's what even though I'm better than him at jiu-jitsu, he knows that. He's not going to let me do it.
He won't let me do jiu-jitsu.
So it's like, okay, lesson learned. I can't do what I want to do. I got to do what they let me do. You know, and that kind of deal. But so like I wanted to win with my guard so bad because to me, I still think about coming into the gym back in the day, 380 pounds or whatever, and to see a guy do a triangle on somebody, that was the height of like jiu-jitsu. To me, that was the like epitome of what I could do. And if I could do that to people, then I knew for sure that I had made it. Like I was good. I'm good now. I would believe. Not that other people was already telling me, you know, because I could smash people.
Right.
I can get on top and win. Because that's what you're supposed to do. It's easier. You know what I mean? It's easier to win for everybody on top for the most part, unless you haven't built a game for that. But like the law of like gravity and averages and whatever, all the other stuff, there's more for me to do when I'm beating you up from the top than you can do from your back or belly down for sure.
Right.
And so I'm weighing on you most of the time if I'm on top because I'm more efficient that way.
So quote unquote, you're winning.
Yeah, typically. And I can impose my will more. And especially before my guard was really that developed in a way that I understood the principles of how to really chain things together. And because it wasn't that, it's like I was just trying to win with my guard, but guard wasn't the right thing to do. And so she just asked me one time, she's like, why do you keep losing with your guard? Why do you keep wanting to lose with your guard? Like she was frustrated. And I was frustrated too. And I was just like, but that made so much sense though in that moment because, you know, after you lose, everything matters so much. Like the feelings that you have and then the training that you did or didn't do. And then, so it made the lesson a lot more permanent in that moment to hear that from somebody that she didn't really train.
So she was kind of an outside point
but she's
of view.
been there the whole time though. And so that's it. She's been pulled back and she saw that. She's like, you just keep losing with your guard.
Yeah.
Why?
My wife's the same way. She'll have like input that I'm like, because I've never thought about it that way.
I didn't like it. It probably made me mad in that moment. So now it's a cool story that I like to tell, but we probably argued that day.
About it.
Because I was mad already.
Yeah.
But she's right. And she's been right before, like with stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like we get so focused on what we think about everything and stuff like that. And then we lose sight of what everybody else might be thinking or needing and stuff like that. And so with these tournaments and events, I just want to, you know, create some more of what I needed for other people to create what they need, you know. And so
that's that. I mean, I think you're creating that with this of
wild tangent.
I dig it. I dig it. So this match, diving right back into it, this was a great one.
Kara Blackburn, tough purple belt from somewhere down in South Georgia. I can't remember exactly the city she's from, but Divine Jiu-Jitsu, and Sierra Goodwin, the purple belt from Decatur, 10th Planet. It was a really good match. Interesting in a way, like a methodical kind of way, because Kara passes pretty early and gets that knee on belly. And then she rides variations of neon belly and like mount, quarter, 3/4 mount or something like that almost. But Sierra never gives up the final position in these framing spots. She's getting crossface pretty hard, but she's not really like trying to turn in most of the time. So to me, it was an interesting strategy, and I think on the stream I was trying to point this out. So it was cool that it kind of played out that way in a way. Not that I wanted Kara to lose or anything, because she's really cool and good. And if she would have smashed her way to victory, it would have been cool that happened too.
On that topic, real quick, I do have a question as far as like, but like you're here to view the art play out. So like, really, you're not. I heard that in the stream while you were talking, you were more fascinated by that part, of like seeing things play out.
It's the strategy.
Yeah,
it's not really like the moves, like or whatever. It's the strategy that people are trying to do, because she passed her guard in the first minute and was like dominating her, and it's like in any other rule set, this match would have ended probably, and Kara would have won
just by sitting there, and
because time would have been over before 10 minutes probably, unless they went to like an 8-minute match or something. I think
I thought this was going to go the distance.
I did too. It was getting that way close, and so I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure, and I thought that Kara may be putting enough pressure that she was going to break her. Honestly, because there was a couple of times I was like, man, I really don't know what Sierra's thinking. Because to me, like even almost right here, I'm thinking I'm running away. Like I'm gonna do the running man, and I'm busting turtle, and I'm gonna even give my back up. I'm gonna fight from you taking my back more than I'm just gonna because I'm not that tough. Sierra's tougher than I am in that position, or she had her frames right. She was doing that's what I mean, and like that's what I was trying to express, and that's what I'm saying. You pick it up. I like it. I like to see what people are gonna do and how they react, and then now I can coach that into my classes because it's real. It's real, and it's right in front of you, and you can't deny it when it's like, what? It's right here. And so I say it in class, but both things are true, right? You can smash somebody and put pressure on them until they break, or you can also be very patient and wait 6.5 or 7 minutes in until they make the one mistake that they might make once they get a little tired and frustrated, and catch them. And Sierra did that, and she got a heel hook when they were exchanging pretty deep into the match. And it was amazing because like that's what I said, like to me in that moment, I like commentating because I like talking. Yeah. And I like talking about jiu-jitsu, and I like, that's another thing Mandy said. She's like, this is the perfect gig for you to be in here. Like I created the whole tournament just so I can commentate.
Exactly. Just so you can talk about jiu-jitsu and nobody goes, dude, we're over it.
Right, exactly. It's like, wait, I have to talk right now. People want to. They need me to tell them about this.
Keep talking about jiu-jitsu.
Babe, they need me.
Yes.
So it's all this big plot for happiness, man. And I'm sorry, world, if you don't like it. Like, I'm just going to keep doing stuff that makes me and people around me happy.
Bro, this heel hook was gnarly.
It was pretty nasty, and we got a pretty good angle on it, it looked like, too, on the stream on this one. That was a cool thing, man. You guys did a good job. You, Mike, Nate, set up some good stuff.
That went better than I could have asked for.
Like, boom, right there.
That
it's just, you see the...
Oh, you can see the heel.
Yeah, she readjusts. See, she had the bite so much that she could let go of her grip because she had it
so bit down.
She had the toes into her armpits just right, and she had the bite, on the heel, and so she just needed, to regrip, and that's it. And it wasn't beautiful until it was. Yeah. She took a beating until she could win. You sometimes you got to lose until you can win. Yeah. And I guess that's what I meant about losing in tournaments and then winning later.
I get it.
You can do that in a single match. And then, it's a series of learning experiences, and these are all high-level people. And so right here is Elizabeth Allen versus Anna Kanaj. I didn't really know much about either one of these girls.
I've actually trained with both of them. I didn't realize Anna was in this. I trained with Anna for a little while, and then I trained with Elizabeth, is my homie from Opelika, and both are very good. This was surprising.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. So it really caught me off guard too. Yeah. But it's perfect. Like, it was the most beautiful play that you could make. I think Elizabeth sat down and was going to just look to kind of engage and feel out the match a little bit.
Gauge it. She was kind of like gauging her.
She was here to have some fun, I think.
She was game.
No, that's what I mean. Like she was ready to get.
Yeah.
She was going to have fun, get into a match with someone, and see how. And she just pulled her right in there, dude. And so it was just like, damn, man. Really?
Bro, I hate that happening to my friend, but it's what we do. It's what we do.
I mean, it could be you. It could be me.
It's been me.
Yeah, I mean, it has. That's what I'm saying. And so a guy that I'm friends with now, Jeremy May, did that to me when I was a blue belt in a tournament. I just won this whole like absolute thing, and they're like, "Hey, will you do one more match with this guy?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And he did that like after I just dominated everybody else the whole day. I was like, "What way to steal my thunder, you piece of shit." But yeah, so that's happened to me too. That's what I'm saying. It's like, so you shrug it off, and now you know, oh damn, people do that. So now that nobody does that again,
right?
It's never happened to me again. So
they reach down and grab that volume knob and break it off at 11.
Yeah. So, okay, now I know, and now that'll never happen again. So I'm sure for Elizabeth, she's gonna not let stuff like that. She's not gonna stick her hand in there where she can get caught in that. It's you know.
You just don't let them play with.
She just got caught slipping, man. It's not. It doesn't mean anything else.
I've been caught like that. That was a very legit catch. That was.
Anna was on point. She was on fire, as we'll see as this plays on out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
This match between Ryan and Chance was pretty good. They both sat really quick, so I thought that for sure both of these guys were going to end up trying to get the leg entanglements after the first matches they had. And Chance being with Elijah Carlton, you can see a little bit of that influence playing through in him. If you know much about Elijah, he was playing a lot of the setups. And then in this match right here, I wasn't sure if Ryan was going to be able to get the advantage, but I thought he might based on what I saw in the first match. But Chance was just like a video game for
he was hunting for this Kimura.
Like he was hunting for the Kimura, and then as soon as he rolls him over, he extends the arm out. And then he's just like trying to stretch it out behind his back. Boom. And this, you know, he wanted to win bad. Like he was going for it. And his coach said, triangle. And he just jumps into a triangle right there.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
There.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, you obviously can see how that can go together in that moment. But to be just so in tune with what the coach was telling you, you know that they've worked that series out together before somehow, or that situationally is aware.
They've definitely trained together a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right, exactly. They know each other. They're in tune. And so that's a good coach-student relationship right there. So, again, something to me that was really impressive to see was that not only is like maybe Elijah a really good competitor, but he's also relaying that stuff to his students, and they're coming out firing too. So that was cool to see him like have a guy that he yelled out a word and the kid went and made it happen. So really good. This match, Francisco Vazquez versus Jay Shields. Jay hit that twister in the first round. Now he's going up against Francisco, who's a purple belt from Tempe, Decatur. Francisco's pretty high level, man.
He's been around for a while, hasn't he?
He's been competing for a little bit, man. I don't know how many years, but he competes often, a lot.
I mean, he's threatening the leg there.
Yeah, he knew exactly what his plan was going to be in this match. He saw Jay play out his match with Antonio or Tony, and he didn't want to get any of that stuff going on.
Yeah.
He wanted to get right in here. He knew that Jay was a white belt and probably didn't have the depth of knowledge here that Jay would have wrestling, because it looked like Jay was a wrestler. Jimmy says that he didn't wrestle in high school and stuff like that. So to me, I thought Jay had wrestled for years in high school based on the skill set.
The way he moves.
The way he brought, the way he come to the gym the first time I saw him. I was like,
did he have a T-shirt on with his shirt tail tucked in?
I can't remember.
You know the wrestler look I'm talking about.
He looked like it to me. But either way, Francisco pulls him in deep and does the veteran move, catches the inexperienced guy in an inside heel hook, and thankfully Jay tapped before it got too bad. I think it popped a little bit, but nothing.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that was tight.
So it was a pretty good bite, and it was the right play. And thankfully Jay didn't get hurt. But that's how it goes. He was in a big cash tournament, and this is what we told him: you're gonna get caught. You might need a tap.
It's
okay.
You're running with the big dogs.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get caught, and then you might need to tap. So
right.
just like make sure you do both of those things or if you're caught, make sure you tap. Don't just like get caught and then get your leg broken.
Yeah,
because that's not what we need.
It's not worth it.
That's not the look that we're going for. And so I think next, is this the match with Becca and Molly?
Yes, I think that was who was next.
And so this is Molly Rogers from Port City Jiu-Jitsu down in Bainbridge, who is, she's a student under like my best friend, Michael Connell, down there. Like I train with Michael as much as I can when I go down there. They come up here some. So we're friends with them. And then Becca is, she's a white belt on our team here. She's been training for a little bit over a year, I think total, your sister.
Yeah, about a year.
For those
just over a year.
Becca's really tough in class. Molly's got a lot of experience competing in MMA and jiu-jitsu, and she's beaten adult women before. Molly's only 14. So for me, I knew that this was going to go one of a couple of ways like this, and I wanted to see exactly how it would play out, honestly, because like I said, Becca's really tough in class. She does a lot of stuff that really surprises me against people sometimes, and then I don't know a lot about Molly's for sure game. I know she's really good, and I've seen her beat people before and stuff like that. So I don't, and that's no disrespect, but I wanted to see it play out because they both kind of asked to be in the ladies tournament, the open weight like advanced thing, and I didn't really want to put them in that deep end yet because I wasn't sure. Also,
the potential of what water you
might
were
have
throwing
show
them
up in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
who
yeah.
could come, and you know, I was like, I wanted to respect that they wanted to compete, you know, and I wanted to give them both a fair matchup that I thought was good, and I think this was. And so Becca did good getting in there and mixing it up, but Molly, her experience showed. She got her spots. I think Becca held on to a single leg a little bit too long.
Becca said 1 year, 5 months. That's how long she's been training.
And 6 days, 3 hours, and 32 seconds.
But who's counting?
So, you know. But she did good, man. I'm proud of her for going out there, but I think she left her head down here.
That exchange right there was where I was going to make a comment that when I said something to her was like she made the exchanges where she's trained in the gi a lot and she didn't get her hand grips. That was like the one thing that I told her was like there were
Becca?
Becca.
Oh.
Like she never made any hand grips when she would go for her sweeps.
Okay. I didn't catch that part. But I see in whatever the moment is, it looks like they get into that little scramble again, and she's like on a single almost.
She almost did a single leg X and then went to X guard. So I was kind of happy about that because
she's good, man. She just doesn't have it all put together yet because she hasn't competed but twice, 3 times. So
it was 3 times. I think this is her third one.
It was an experience. It was a chance to get out there and mix it up with someone on a stage where it was live, but it wasn't really a lot at risk. You know, Molly's friendly with us, so we know we have a good relationship with them. It's not some kind of like
playing a game.
It's not a blood feud or whatever, but we're going to compete hard and we're going to try to win.
Yeah,
and if whoever wins, then good. Congratulations, you did a great job. So Molly's like flexibility. She was doing like full splits during her warm up, and so that thing did not affect her at all. Really, once she saw what was going on, and so she's sitting up trying to pull, and see it. Becca's trying to shove her foot in. I couldn't really tell, but she's leaving her head down too much, and that's where like she was going to try to throw a triangle, but she's still leaving her head down in that scramble. Immediately sets the choke in, and no, see, she didn't have the hooks in Becca before she set the choke. I told you, she didn't. So you got to protect, guys. Protect your neck before you defend the hooks and stuff. Protect your neck first. And that's no disrespect, Becca. I don't know if I said that to you ever. So no, I did. Everybody.
Protect your neck.
The neck is most important in that situation. And, you know, that's why we needed her to go compete, though. Because like I said, I've seen her do stuff in class so many times. And I was like, I want to see what level she's really kind of at. And then now I can know how to coach her better. And so at a certain point, competition is not necessary. But if you really want to get like specifically down to your game, you got to kind of let some people go hard with you and see where you're at.
What comp speed
but
feels
somebody
like.
Your size-ish, your skill level-ish. Like I wouldn't want you to go out there with some world champion black belt in your first competition and think, well, this is what you need to be like. You need to stack up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But another person, you know, that's got a little bit more experience than you, can you compete with them? Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Good job. You're on the right track.
Yeah.
You're not there yet. You're not where she is, but that's not to be expected at, you know, a 1 year, 5 months, 6 days, and 32 seconds. So the finals for the men is Chance versus Francisco. This is our only overtime match for the whole day.
Yeah.
These guys, I found out during the match, actually had somewhat recently had a combat jiu-jitsu match against each other.
Yeah.
So they were getting a little handsy in here during this, and
Little unsettled business.
maybe they knew what it was going to take to establish a little bit on each other.
Right.
I think
They knew that it wasn't going to be just a pushover.
Yeah. So neither guy really got the look they wanted, but I think both guys know what they wanted to have. And so most of the match went down like this. Francisco trying to pass or establish. Chance was playing sit-up guard. They scramble. We get late into the match. They finally decided to switch top-bottom a little bit, but it didn't really make much difference. I think Francisco had that like reverse triangle look, that where they were in off the mat.
Right.
Or like a side triangle. I don't know where they're like what classification of triangle this is once he gets it, because he's doing the Kimura thing and then he ends up in the triangle right here.
It's like an inverted triangle upside down.
Yeah, but he's kind of laying on his side and then like, you know what I mean? It's the idea of the, it's a triangle from the side.
The same angle.
Whatever. And so they're laying off on the carpet right here. And so now it's like, I don't want to restart it because I can tell that they're actively like engaged in this moment. And if you stop this, then they're going to lose the tension that's already created. And you can't recreate that tension fairly for either guy. And so I was trying to like let them go for it, but when neither guy went for it, I asked them, to roll it back on the inside, because I didn't want them to like be rolling on the carpet and stuff like that. I wanted to stay on the mat. So it's tough to recreate the start. And so Francisco on the restart, he didn't really get the finish. And he may not have gotten it from there on the other side. It's just that's how things go. And they go into overtime. Into the overtime, I think Francisco defers and lets Chance goes first.
I believe so.
Chance takes the back, gets in like a good Dan Severn, like palm to palm kind of choke crank thing, and then in that sticks his head in and gets the hand behind the head finish, and eventually gets the tap. They switch top bottom, and Francisco's not able to get a finish. So Chance is going to be the winner for the men at 145. Another interesting thing, like strategy wise here, Francisco chose to defer.
I was fixing to come back. I was sitting here reminding myself to come back to that.
And there is no correct choice in that moment. And that's one of those stupid coach kind of things people tell you when you ask your coach, what should I do? He's like, yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Offense or defense, it's like, yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what you get. You get one of those. And so you
50-50.
Yeah, and which one's right, it depends on how it goes.
What is it? What is your primary dependency? I don't even know if that was a word, but like what is your primary concern there?
For me personally?
Yes.
So, okay, another funny story. I primarily will attack spiderweb, which may not be what most people go for.
Okay.
I have a very good armbar from that position, because in San Diego we had live drill Monday, what we called it, and it was just the whole class for the whole hour was just the two positions. You could only choose spiderweb or back, the jiu-jitsu overtime positions, and then it was 1 minute top and bottom, and then you would get a new partner every minute. Didn't matter their size, skill, weight, whatever. You just, and I tried to go with the hardest dudes. And so I've got thousands and thousands of reps there against guys, and I was just finishing better guys at a higher percentage with my arm bars.
Okay.
And so for me, that's where I went once I started competing. But there was a tournament that I did, and I had on a short sleeve rash guard. I typically like to wear long sleeve rash guards. My opponent didn't have a shirt on. He'd taken his shirt off.
That changes it so much.
We went all the way to overtime. This was the third round of the tournament. And so he was really lathered up and sweaty, and I was really sweaty. And so I chose the arm bar, and he hitchhikered out immediately. Well, Richie was calling for me, Boogie was calling for me to take the back, because there was only one overtime. and I got greedy, and I was like, I'm gonna finish this motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna get him because he's like the villain. You know what I mean? He's the classic bad guy. And I played the moment well that night against him. I didn't let it like get me overdone until then.
And then
because I thought I was good. I was so confident in my position now that I was going to get him. I was going to clip him. And Boogie was like, "No, you should probably take the back because get the ride time."
Yeah,
and
the smart decision,
right? And I wanted to finish. Like I wanted to finish, and that was what I was going for. And so he got out in like 2 seconds because he just hitchhikered out, or that limp arm hitchhiker thing, and got out.
Yeah.
And I was just disgusted. And then he took my back, and I got out in like 5 seconds. So if I would have took his back, I would have only needed like 2 more seconds of control than I got, because he couldn't hold me either, hardly, or let me go, I guess, whatever the deal was, kind of thing. But that was another one of those moments where Mandy, after the tournament, was like, "So when are you gonna start listening to your coaches?"
She just commented,
like you tell everybody else to do.
She just commented and then retracted messages. I didn't know you could see retracted messages.
Don't be retracting your messages. Speak up. Say it with your chest. Come on, it's the internet.
Interwebs.
We out here. So valuable lesson. And I told her that day, is like, all right, from now on, then when I go compete, if Richie's there, I'm just gonna do whatever he says, and if I lose, then I'm gonna be okay with losing with whatever Richie told me to do.
But you listen to your coach,
because I will listen to my coach now, because that's something that I say. That's one of the important parts of who I said I was, like as a person and a competitor and all those kind of things. And I was just like, wow, I directly went against all that shit. So I need to embrace who I say I am, and if I lose doing what he asked me to do or what he suggested, then it's okay. It's not like I don't need to be mad at him deal or mad at myself deal. It's just there's a choice that was made and it didn't work out this time. It's not right or wrong, because I've armbarred dozens and dozens of people. I've came back from getting killed and got to overtime and finished the armbar against guys that I couldn't touch in the regulation. Like they just trounced me, and I felt just like I was terrible. But I was confident once I got to that spot. But they had on long sleeves, and I had on long sleeves.
It's different
rash guards. And so I don't know how much that matters, but to me in my mind now, I think about that a lot. That's something I think about. That
I think
friction,
the rash guard matters.
It does matter. I like wearing long sleeves just for comfort.
When I'm training for a fight, I get guys to train shirtless.
I mean, because
it's
you
slippery.
can't grab
it's slippery.
the same way.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. And so, I made the wrong choice doing that way. But strategy overall for me had said, this is how you kill.
Right.
And so I wanted to get that. And I missed. So just like everything else, sometimes you miss. And just like this, when you defer, sometimes you give that other person an opportunity, and you want to see what their opportunity is.
Right.
But their opportunity is a finish. And in order for them, or in order for you to survive long enough, or to try not to get tapped long enough to give yourself a good try, you have to exert a ton of energy and mental resources to surviving.
Right.
And then if you get tapped, how long did you hold out before you tapped? And are you thinking about the 2 or 3 seconds that you might need to hold out longer to give yourself more time? Or do you need to tap faster so that way your arm's not hurt, or you can breathe and you're still clear-headed, or you letting them choke you out completely? Like, that would be stupid. But like that's a choice that you would get to make, though. And then like you get another like half a second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds
to come back,
and maybe that, you know what I mean? I don't think you can.
I don't think you really thought about, like, because you're tapping, you get a rebuttal. So don't go all the way out.
I've never seen anybody go all the way out, so I don't know if they would stop it fully. That's a good question, I guess.
And let you kind of get your
you don't get a chance to like get your wits about. You're supposed to like turn and go. It's supposed to be like,
I don't know about
aggressive.
You. I need a second.
You have to.
Have you gone out before?
A couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, you can't come right back.
I feel like I'm naked when I wake up.
I think this is kind of what had happened to Francisco, is that he chose to defer because he wanted to see what he needed to do. And what he needed to do is get a tap. But he had just fought as hard as he could for 10 minutes. And then he had just given his back up by rule. And then Chance cranked on his head, neck, and face, and he held his breath and gritted and fought as hard and as long as he could to a state of exhaustion, and he had to tap.
Oh, his hands were locking up when he rolled off.
And then he immediately had to come over
Yeah.
and get it. And then he had to have an attack that was more powerful than the one that he
just
was
went through.
into.
Yeah.
So what's right? I don't know. Because sometimes you need to know that all you need to do is escape faster over time, because they just went 10 minutes against each other and neither one of them got a tap. And then maybe in that first match they had, neither one of them got a tap in all the overtimes. And so, for instance, you know what I mean? So that the way is never the same against the same opponent next time.
Yeah.
Because you both improve, you know. It's like that man stepping through a river story, metaphor thing. What is it, Mandy? Parable. Like when a man steps into a river, as he steps into it again the next time, it's not the same man or the same river.
I gotcha.
Whatever that thing is, it's the same thing. Like
Sounds
I compete every time we roll. It may end up very similar, a lot of ways,
but it's a different.
It's still different because you're not doing that same thing to me, and I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm just gonna put something else around it maybe, and just to trick you, you know, allegedly.
Yeah.
So all that stuff with that, and then there's one more match for the ladies for sure. Again, Anna Kanaj versus Sierra Goodwin, both really, really good competitors here. Anna gets on top and like starts putting down the heavy pressure. I think she saw something in Kara's and Sierra's match that she could really exploit that Kara wasn't quite able to.
She looked like she weighed a ton right here.
Bro, she was so heavy right here.
Like that right there makes me oomph.
Like you could see the pressure. I love she's doing the live toes. That's something that we talk about. She's driving into the connection.
Yeah.
She's not like just being limp and sliding away with her top of her feet. She's driving with her toes. So that makes you so much more heavy if you can kind of hover that knee, you know what I mean? And just stay with the connection. And then just she's got the arm and the hand right here, and she's just reeling it in, slowly reeling it in. And then she just gets that bent arm lock in just a second.
It's like the short key.
It's a style of the Americana lock or whatever you want to call it.
Did she still have the head when she finished it? I didn't remember when I rewatched it.
Because it's kind of like...
It's like right in here somewhere, isn't it?
I can't remember for sure if she still popped the head out, but I think it was still in, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, basically just an Americana with extremely amount of pressure, and it was really technical, just like the armbar that she hit in the first round. And so for the ladies, they only had 2 matches. She got $800 for that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. We'll definitely invite her back to. I'm gonna probably hit her up and say, hey, how much do you normally weigh when you compete? And then that'll be our next tournament for the ladies.
For the ladies,
maybe. Why not?
Yeah.
She's not a
Anna might be in here.
On the scale, she may not be weighty. I don't know how you say that. She's on the lower end of the ladies' brackets, I think, in size, right? She's not a really...
I don't know.
I don't know how you say that.
I'm not saying
to be whatever. Right. Say it. No, she's really athletic, and she did a really great job that on Saturday. And man, I was really excited to have her come through and Sierra come through. Kara, and Elizabeth, they all represented. And so
everybody did great.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it was over in like an hour total. I think we did the whole thing in an hour. So yeah, we gave away $800 each to the winners of the brackets, and then for his twister, Jay collected $100. Typically, we would do like multipliers for the submissions and regulation is what we like to do. But this time, that money from the sponsors, Parkway Automotive, Works Bookkeeping and Accounting, that's my personal like bookkeeper and accountant. So like that's not just a plug, but like I actually use Joe and Sarah. They're really good. And then Circle W Farms, they sponsored us. Instead of using their money for the multipliers and things like that, we just threw that money into the women's bracket and for the twister and stuff. And then to fill in the gap on the men's once we didn't actually get paid out for all that, the registration stuff this time. So we covered everybody's money. Thanks to the sponsors, nobody lost money. Everybody made money except for the sponsors, I guess. And so we're going to make sure they can make some money off of their investments here. Keep plugging them and sending people that way. I got to quit saying I realize that during the stream a lot. When I'm talking live, I'll go And when I do my podcast to myself, I do that a lot.
You haven't done it in this one. It's a lot easier when you have another person on the other side. Like, that's kind of the hard part sometimes, is having that conversation.
Yeah, because I have to create the dialogue to myself before I speak back, I guess.
Exactly.
So that's where that pause comes. But the pause doesn't have to have an in it.
You become
just
silent.
pause.
You just go silent.
Yeah. That's like more technical speaking. But,
exactly.
You know. Either. So, yeah, what we like to do though, you know, is bring in more people. I think for the ladies, we need to hold off maybe on the next event for them, and then for the dudes, we'll see what the weight classes are.
What weight classes are you thinking for the guys? What do you think you're gonna get? Like a
185.
I was gonna say like a 185.
They're the ones that I keep hearing the most from. It seems like 185s. And then maybe we'll do a blue belt or something in lower bracket for something instead of making it in all levels. Maybe we'll do 2 185 brackets or something like that, and upper belts and lower belts or something. I'm not sure. That way we can, I don't know. That way we can fill in one from the other maybe. I'm not sure.
We could throw it out to the people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in what you guys want to see too, because it's all going to be fun to me as long as we can fill out the bracket. So whatever the most competitors are interested in, that's the tournaments that we'll do the most of, because we just need to fill up the bracket. So if you want to compete for a chance to win at least $800, it's $100 buy-in. We do them here in Perry at the gym. It's EBI rules. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. There's plenty of stuff out there on it, but it's submission only, and you can win money to compete. And we're going to do it for all levels, and then we're going to also do it for specific levels. So let me know who you are, where you are, and what you want to do. Make sure you guys are commenting down there and letting us know what we need to do to make the show better and stuff like that, because we're really interested in that. This is, for me, for sure, the show part's not my forte. That's you and now Mike and stuff working on that back end stuff.
Huge shout out to Mike. Mike was a big help.
Yeah, I don't know that, but you tell me that, so I believe you.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's really great. You guys had it all set up by the time I walked in that morning. I didn't have to move any mats. I didn't have to do anything, so that was really cool. We're really excited to look for the next steps. Like, we may move it out of the gym once things get moving in that direction where people can do things like that, and have an event like I don't want to say, what kind of event, but just like a jiu-jitsu pro show where it's an event. And then instead of doing like a bunch of super fights where it's, ref's decision, maybe we do a bunch of super fights that are EBI rules instead of a bunch of tournaments. Maybe we can do shows like that, and then we can have people just do matchups. So where we can have you, instead of having 8 185 guys, maybe we can just have you send me your weights, and if you want to compete, and if I can match you up, just like classic matchmaker stuff from MMA and stuff. We'll do that then and have a bunch of super fights. I'm okay with that too. I just want to see jiu-jitsu up close and talk about it. So I'm selfish. You just tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you so I can do what I want to do. Is that fair?
Hey, that sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Well, you've been on the interwebs for an hour now.
Are y'all want to hear me keep talking? No, I'm just kidding.
They can.
Y'all want to see me smashing fruit?
Next on the Dream Show. That's also the name. We're calling this the Dream Show.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, we'll go with the Dream Show because this is all a dream to me. I feel like I'm gonna wake up one day and somebody's gonna be like, "All right, simulation's over, bro. Now you get to go back to your life living as a lesser person than you think you are." I don't want to degrade anyone's career that they have that may be listening, but whatever level of less than, I don't want to wake up to. Yeah. So yeah, I'm content doing all this stuff, man. A lot of stuff going on. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel this week, guys, too. Make sure you're subscribing, telling your friends and all that. I'm heading out tomorrow morning to go to Costa Rica to get some footage for the camp that we're going to be holding in October. We're going to do some deals and make sure where we can fit everybody in. We're going to have like 20 more spots at the most from what we have right now. So if you are someone that's interested in that, I would suggest like saving your pennies and getting it together, because we're going to release the spots. And we're getting interest from all over the world right now. Honestly, people are messaging me from Europe and stuff like that because they've heard a little bit about it, and it's a really beautiful spot. So once I get this footage and we get it to the people that are also going to be coming, it's going to blow up, and it's going to sell out. I don't doubt it. Like in no time, because it's not going to be that expensive for this experience. So we're going to make it bougie but affordable.
Bougie, affordable.
Like,
I like that. That's a T-shirt.
I mean, you gotta like to spend a little bit of money to do it. So it's not gonna be cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying it's cheap, but it's gonna be affordable, and it's going to be really nice. You know what I mean? You're not going to come down there and stay in a Roach Motel or something like that and train in some crappy little space. You're going to, you know, we're going to do our best to make it very nice. Unless you want to do that, and then you can pay for your own trip down there and stay in a whatever. You can sleep in your car if you have a car down there, or a tent. I don't know what the rules are. But
I'll sleep in a tent.
You still have to pay for the training, though.
Is it like jungly in Costa Rica?
Yes,
it's jungle.
We're going to be
real jungle.
We're at the beach. Yes, it's real jungles. Yeah. There's jungles there, like where we're going to go. And that's the thing, man. There's like we've done ATV tours to rainforest through the jungles and through the mangroves and stuff. We've done like catamaran cruises and saw like whales out in the water, like right beside the boat and stuff. It's just stuff I didn't expect to see that day. So it's just a lot of like, for me, like first time life experiences. And then again, it's including jiu-jitsu, and then I get to be talking about it. So
it's this whole thing. So it's the dream.
That's what I'm saying. It's the dream show. And so it's the dream camp. So come on down, at least save your money, and I'll take it. And then you can come hang out with me and some of my really cool friends that are already going to be there. We'll have more information starting next week on that. So make sure you're subscribed to all the stuff that I do at The Dream Tempe on Instagram, 10th Planet Perry, The Dream Stephen Aiken on YouTube. We got a TikTok now. I think it's 10th Planet Perry. I'm trying to do
TikTok.
that. Yeah, I'll get off my grass though, man. I'm tired of everybody getting on my grass on there.
On your grass.
I'm
is
old.
This
the old man.
Oh, okay, I got it. I was like, I thought
my lawn. Maybe I should say my lawn.
Is this a thing that these kids are saying these
I don't
days?
know.
Is this like a new dance
kids.
move?
I'm old. That's what I'm saying.
It's TikTok, dog.
My joke is a dad joke, and so it wasn't even a good joke. A good dad joke. Like, I missed. That's what I do, though. And if you like that kind of stuff, you should hang out with me. Right? Is that good?
100.
Are we done?
100. I was trying to catch up on some of the comments. I mean, we're doing great with our...
We're just rambling now, though.
Yeah.
Y'all like this?
Hey, man, everybody's jumping in. But you got anything else?
No, that's going to be it for me, man. I got to go get some stuff done at home so I can be ready for class and teaching tonight and ready to go down there tomorrow.
Cool. Do the like, subscribe, everything, and then I'll shut us off.
Bing, like, subscribe. Was it a bell or thing now? I don't know if it's a bell anymore. Yeah, you hit the bell. Whatever you know how to do on YouTube because you're already on here that you do for everybody else, do all that stuff for me, man. Share this on your other social media pages. Tell people how cool I am because you believe it. That's the only reason you tuned in.
Yeah. And
Peace.
Also from me on anybody who helped with the show at all, like in any way. There was like my sister, there was Mike, there was Nate, there was everybody threw in. David, a couple guys showed up. I wasn't even looking up. So if I haven't mentioned you, I haven't forgotten you.
Sorry, yeah, me too.
Y'all all like that whole show went off without a hitch. And
that's what I say. It's teamwork. It's all teamwork. It's me doing what I do and then me letting everybody else do what they do well, and it works. I don't have to get in your way to tell you how to do this.
Cool.
Much love, everybody. Peace.
All right, streams off.